Hello guys, we are Storyteller here today. We are going to tell us about a film based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II called Soldier Boy. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The like and subscribe may look simple for you, but for us it's very valuable. We appreciate your support. Please follow and share. Enjoy the movie. The movie begins in the village of Russia where a family of 3 sit by the river, enjoying their time. The youngest of them, Seryaja Oleshkov, self-praised to his elder brother and mother about him being on top of a tree when suddenly German fighter jet fly over. The mother requests her children to hide quickly in the bushes, but the 6-year-old professes he is not scared of them and strikes the jet with a slingshot. He manages to hit the jet and explode them, but when he looks around, his family has already gone. Seryaja wakes up, scared from the dream, and calls for his mother. Just then someone knocks on his door. Assuming it is his mother, he runs towards the door, but a neighbor woman comes in unnerved. She thanks God for keeping him alive and safe. She tells him about his mother and brother. The little boy cannot understand what she is saying and wants to stay in the house to wait for his mother. The woman tells him that the Germans have struck them and that he should run away. Just then some soldiers come close to their house. The woman tells Seryaja run out through the window, but Lady died before she can join him. The little 6-year-old is now on his own with no family and friends as Seryaja runs away from the house. He sees his whole neighborhood burning behind him. He calls for his mother in pain and runs away from. After running for a while, he ends up in the middle of the woods somewhere. The little kid starts to scream for his mother to come and get him because he has lost that night. He stays in the woods. And the next morning, he drinks water from a river. When the enemy soldiers coming towards Seryaja, knowing that they are dangerous, he hides inside a tree's roots. He is frightened when a snake showed up, but doesn't let out a word or a runaway. Seryaja is more scared of the soldiers than. The soldiers eat by the river and go away, after which Seryaja takes their uneaten food and consume it for the night. However, by the end of the day, the little boy is shattered. He hasn't had a proper meal in the last 2 days and has been walking with no destination. He falls down as he shambles, but doesn't stop walking while on his way. He sees wild berries and eat them. But just then an explosion befalls behind him, taking him by surprise. The boy gets amazed and starts to hallucinate someone coming towards him. However, even in such conditions, he stands brave and tells the person he has a rifle and is not scared. He crawled forward, but falls senseless. After a while he is asleep, 2 soldiers come towards him. The scene cuts to the Russian army base where Commander Kuznetsov waits for his patrol soldiers. They come in with the little kid who was injured and weak. When the soldiers said they are on his side, the little boy opens up and introduces himself. The soldiers laugh. When the kid shakes his hand with the commander and asks he introduced himself, the soldiers feel adoring with a little kid and circle him around. They make him drink water and feed him. Even the commander takes care of the kid. A nurse named Kachi addresses Seryaja's wounds and is charmed by his personality to the kid. Asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Even the injured soldiers talk to the kid and feel stress-free. Seryaja is engaged with the commanders, God and his. The commander answers all the little boy's questions and lets him play with his honorary pistol. After taking the bullets out, nurse shows him the tank drawn on his stomach and tells about being a soldier himself. The boy is recovering very quickly. The nurse caveat asks the commander to let the boys stay with the battalion, but he denies by saying that it won't be safe. He wants to send Seryaja to an orphanage. The soldiers spend all their free time with. He is visited by many throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their families from distant and even let him play with their binoculars. One day a soldier comes to the commander to request him to let the boys stay with the battalion. The soldiers makes a close bond with the kid and think of him as their own. His presence takes the weight of war off their chest. However, the commander is refused about sending the boy to the orphanage for his own safety. That day, the enemies attack, and many soldiers' vehicle comes to fetch Seryaja to take him to the orphanage. The commander breaks the news to the kid and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy in turn hugs him and says that he is scared for the commander's safety. The commander melts in his hug and changes his mind. He asks Seryaja to stay with the soldiers as his son that night. The soldiers look for little soldier clothes for the little boy. They are over the moon to have nurse stay with them. The commander wakes Seryaja up and gives them the clothes. He wears them and runs around looking like a real soldier. The others start calling him their little soldier boy. As the kid runs around, the Germans launch an airstrike on the battalion, The soldiers hastily take Nurse to a safe place and fight the others. The number of injured soldiers increase abruptly. Suryaja wants to make himself useful, so he brings water to thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his. The little boy wants to help, but doesn't know how to read. He takes the letter and starts read up the things written on it, saying that the soldier's cow is safe back home. When the soldier claims he doesn't have a cow, the others tell him to go along with the story and laugh. He reads everyone else's letters in the same excitement and cheers them up in the following scene. We see Cacti and then the commander talking. The two seem to be attracted to each other, but do not confess there. Later, Suryaja tells the commander that he is of the orderly position in the battalion and starts introducing himself as one. However, the boy then sees one of the soldiers' station destroyed from the attack. The commander teaches him to take his hat off, to pay respect to the dead soldier. The later day, he insists the commander give him a mission and is given a task to distribute the letters among the soldiers. He completes his task and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The same day, Nurse goes a little far from the base with his. As he is playing with it, he sees someone's leg moving from inside a haystack. He runs back to the battalion and tells the soldiers about his findings. The soldiers are dubious, but go with the boy. Anyway, when they reach near the haystack, they are alerted to see two German spies hiding underneath. The spies are arrested and the kid is praised for his intelligence that night. The commander shows Suryaja the legal papers for his adoption. He is now officially the. Suryaja knows of the commander's feelings for Nurse, so, to repay his kindness, he takes him to confess to her. But to see her talking to a different man and wrongfully assume she is interested in someone else. The base is attacked by the Germans. Again, this time Suryaja helps the soldiers with all his might by supplying ammunition to the soldiers in the front line. But the soldiers there command him to go back to the shed because it is not safe. When he comes to the shed, he sees the commander and others in stress because the phone's connection with the colonel is lost. A soldier is sent to fix the broken wires. Suryaja follows the soldier and Sissy has been badly wounded. He asks the dying soldier how he can repair the wires and does it himself. The connection comes back and more troops are called. The 6-year-old saves everyone's life later. We see the commander and Keisha talking by the river. The commander finally confesses his love for her and asks her to be with him. Kachi is over the moon, but before she can say anything, a soldier comes to them and gives the commander a letter saying they have been dispatched from the base. The next day, all the soldiers leave for their new base, along with Suryaja. On their way, they come across a minefield that blows off some of their vehicles. The commander is hurt while the groups also, who Suryaja was close with, dies in the explosion. He cries and hugs the commander. They carry the injured ones with them and continue their journey to their destination. When they at last reach the other base, they meet the commander's leader, the general. He too is impressed by the kid's bravery and congratulates the commander for having such a smart kid. The next day, their division is awarded a guard banner, and so, as the boy, he promises to save this country. When the general gives him his badge one night, their base is attacked brutally, and the commander is trapped under the ruins. Nurse cries for his father and tries to save him. He calls the other soldiers who finally bring the commander. The next day, Suryaja comes to injured commander. His hands were injured while trying to save the commander. The kid is now a one-of part of the team. He doesn't have a family behind and moves wherever they go in the war. The movie ends of the administration is seen moving to another base. A voice in the background narrates that he even took part in the Stalingrad battle and reached Poland with the soldiers. He is currently known as the world's youngest soldier ever, and the legendary story of this bravery kid is now spread for the whole world. Please subscribe for more videos like this, share this video with others, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.